What up, everybody? You're now tuned into the true definition of a sports fanatic. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley, back today with another live stream. Feels good to be back. Baby girl is here. Proud Papa. She's such a sweet baby, man. I can't get enough of this dad. Like, man, it's absolutely awesome. So great. Girl dad all the way. But man, we're gonna talk some sports just for a little bit. And then I got to catch some of that LeBron against Joker. I got to see that, man. They got a lot of confidence in the Lakers, don't they? I've been hearing a lot of people picking the Lakers. Hey, I'm a LeBron fan as much as anybody else, but do they not remember last year? I know it's a new year, but last time I checked, Joker is still the best player in the league. I'm just saying, it's what it is, man. We're gonna talk. Hey, we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We're gonna talk about Jaguars. Hey, throwback uniforms. Josh Allen getting paid. Trevor Lawrence doing some contract talks. And talk about the NFL draft, of course. Jontay Porter got banned by the NBA for life. We're going to talk about why that may have been excessive. I get it. I understand it. May have been excessive, but, we'll talk a little bit about it. And, of course, I got to talk about Caitlin Clark. She's the flavor of the moment, of the month, of the year. WNBA, listen, you're being gifted a Michael Jordan, LeBron James type of player. That's what Caitlin Clark is. Talk all you want, hate all you want. That's what she is. Don't mess this up. And the ladies that's in the league talking trash, hey, how about you sit back, relax, and enjoy the money that's going to come to your pockets? But it's all good because Tiger got a hell of a lot of hate for dudes smashing a white ball through some woods, and now you're getting paid millions of dollars. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, man. But I got my co-host with me, Mr. Reed. How you feeling today, sir?
Man, you going off, man. You're doing good. Congratulations on the little one, man.
Appreciate that. But yeah, man, I gotta go off, man. I gotta go off, especially with the WNBA stuff, man. I just what we're finding out is you're finding out why their league has been unsuccessful. Now this is not due to the players themselves necessarily, but they do play a small role in it by how they act and portray themselves, man. Like I did not like the way they have been acting towards Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Angel Reese hasn't gotten as much as Caitlin Clark has gotten, but they both have gotten like hate, man. It's crazy. Like man, what are you doing? And I get it from an athlete standpoint. Yeah, it's F the competition. I get that. But I mean, it's unnecessary. That's why when you talk about brotherhood and sisterhood and all of that goes out of the window when money is involved, man. It's not a true brotherhood, and we finding out it's not a sisterhood, which we already knew that. But it is what it is, I guess. But the disparity in pay between the WNBA and the NBA, and everybody's so fake caring about that. It's so fake. It's so fake. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Dude, Russell Wilson tweeted out how this is terrible. They deserve so much more. No, they don't. They're getting what their league is making, and their league just hit over $100 million this past season. They were like 60 million in revenue for a minute. They hit 200 million last year, so they are growing. Caitlin Clark is going to give them another bump, but they're getting paid what their league is making, which their league doesn't turn a profit. We've talked about this. It is what it is. But now you have a golden opportunity, the golden goose with Caitlin Clark. Man, they say her jerseys, she sold more jerseys in a day than I think the Cowboys sold all year. The Cowboys.
Yeah, that's
come
a
on,
lot.
man. That's a lot. That's a lot. America's team is highly popular for whatever reason. She sold more than them in a day, the whole team. So I mean, it is what it is, man. But man, we're gonna get into this Jags talk first. Oh no, go ahead. Say your piece.
I just think as far as their problem, WNBA is that they gotta. I mean, when you're a league, you have to go through the channels of marketing. You just can't just roll the ball out and go to the gym and hope that ESPN or somebody just put the schedule out and this is who we for this Saturday night slate of games. And you don't do anything to spread the word or promote your players or even if you got to do some type of ticket something, they should be marketing themselves in every high school in America. They just like you are right now, and me.
Mm-hmm.
Every girl dad in America, you should find somewhere to connect with those type of families and with the young girls that's playing basketball in high school, junior high, middle schools, and they don't do it.
Yes.
They just don't market the game. They don't, And then what you just said, you got hostility that older, I assume older veteran players in the league just saying right now, well, this young player coming in from Iowa, and she's getting more recognition than I played in this same league for the last 8 years, and they're already hyping them. Well,
Already.
there used to be some players that used to say, well, Magic and Bird came into the league, and but was some chatter in the second year they were in the league that they were overhyping them. But look what they did. Before they came into the league, the NBA finals used to be like they would tape delay it and show 30 after the news.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you got a
Magic play.
You got Oh, no. I was gonna say, you brought up Magic and Bird. I was gonna say real quick. Mm-hmm. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, that can be the WNBA's Magic and Bird.
That where it is. But you got to understand, you have to promote something to be a rivalry. Okay, you just can't just say, well, back when they were at Iowa and one was at LSU and they were in college, they were rivals. I mean, you gotta basically got to build your league up that they are rivals, and you got to build your league up toward that. I mean, that team with the center they got from South Carolina and Angel Reese. I mean, if I was I build up that team a lot. I mean, you got to build the team up. You got to build up the stars. You got to do what David Stern did with the NBA. You got to build your team around the best player.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, you got to. You have to. Man, but we're gonna touch on that a little bit more. But let's get these Jags on out the way, because we take a lot of time with them, and rightfully so.
Yeah, they're the hometown team.
They're the hometown team. So Josh Allen finally gets his paper. Man, I saw a little cartoon where he got Trevor Lawrence and Josh Allen standing in the room looking at a table, and it's covered in money. I said, yeah, that's about to be That's about to be Trevor Lawrence too. Yep, Trevor Lawrence about to be up there too. But Josh should have been gotten paid, man. I understand they wanted him to quote unquote prove himself or whatever. I get that. And whatever they offered him after the 2022 season, he didn't like. So he's like, I'm gonna bet on myself and I'm gonna break Calais' sack record. He shattered it. And look what you had to pay. I think he's number 3 as far as years per year, as far as defenders in the entire league, where you could have got him for much less than that after the 2022 season. Much less. Now, he would have still been a pretty penny, but you could have got him for less than that. You could have upped the offer or whatever he wanted and could have got him for less than what you got him for today. Like right now, the Cowboys, once again, for whatever reason, they put themselves back in a situation where you're either going to pay Dak or you're going to let him walk and hit free agency. You have no choice. I mean, dude, Dak's contract and the way whoever Dak's agent is, he's up there with whoever Kirk Cousins' agent is, man, because they're going to have to pay Dak. And if you don't pay him, somebody else is going to pay him. And it's going to be the same thing with Trevor Lawrence. They're talking with contract with Trevor Lawrence, and we talked about it. If you're going to get Trevor, you better try to get him now. Pay him now. Get that contract up now. Now, me personally, if I was Trevor Lawrence, I ain't signing nothing. Not a thing. Nope. You got to show me. You got to prove to me, too. Yeah, I know I got some proving to do. I know there's some things I got to work on. I know that. But y'all have some things you have to work on, too, because we're all talking about the Jaguars, aren't we? Yeah, they got a lot of room for improvement.
I agree with everything you said. And, one thing I I don't think that question was asked at that press conference the other day, but why did you have to wait? What's it in? He's the first player ever in their franchise to be $100 million contract guy. I mean, he's the first. He won't be the last, but he's the first. And yeah, they could have got for cheaper, but I don't see any way that it should have took them this long to come to the conclusion that we got to pay him what his value is. You know, I mean, that's the one fault I have with Trent Baalke, man. I mean, you wouldn't be a franchise if you let him walk because you refuse to pay. So why? I mean, what is $156 million? I mean, to me, I don't understand why it took so long for you to just. This is what we got to pay him. I mean, you could have done that during the season. I mean, you could have did it the year before, to be honest. I mean, you're going to have to pay for talent to keep talent. And I don't think since the 22 season that they didn't think that they were not going to bring him back at all costs. And I just don't think you got to wait till the last moment or whatever, waste a franchise tag. I mean, when you really look back, I mean, I like what, I'm not going to sit up here and bash this general manager like definitely done in the past. I mean, I think he had a good off season. I thought, from bringing in veteran talent and those kind of things. I thought he did his job, but also, and I think that's one of the problems that we have here, that everything get overshadowed by the moment. And I don't think we do enough reflection on the fact that, I heard some people in the public say, well, Ridley wasn't worth that contract that he got from Tennessee. And I'm thinking, well, sometimes you got to use the right hindsight too, because if they would have used that franchise tag on Ridley, he wouldn't have got paid that Tennessee offered him, And I just think sometimes you got to be smart about, you have to plan early. You have to put your A plan together by October. And to me, my hindsight is this. If you're going to pay this guy over $100 million, you're not going to tell me you didn't think by January that it was going to take that much to sign Josh Allen, okay? You don't make a commitment to sign $100 million plus contract, and you just make that commitment in April or whenever they sign him. I mean, I'm not going to believe that. So if it's about dollar and cents, if it's $100 million and $125 million, I mean, when it all comes to the conclusion, it really doesn't matter. You're going to bite the bullet to keep them. So you bought the bullet. Basically, you bit the bullet. Use that franchise tag to give yourself more time to negotiate. And you lost a receiver in hindsight.
Yes.
So that's my opinion about it. But like I say, I'm not going to sit up here and bash this man. I mean, I thought he did a good job in the offseason. The only thing he didn't do, he wasn't able to re-sign Ridley. I thought they improved their team, particularly on the defensive side. And I agree with all the moves they made, except Ridley one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that's going to stick with you, because this is the thing. I understand. I get what their plan was and how they went about things. Josh Allen was the priority, and Ridley was, if we could get him, we get him in free agency and try to offer him. But this is what it is. If you sign Josh Allen like you should have, you were supposed to, you could have tagged Ridley, because I could have told you, anybody could have told you that most likely you were not going to get Ridley back once he hit free agency, because teams are all too willing to throw the Brinks truck at a receiver, especially a receiver that's, he's proven he has 1,000 yards last year, 8 touchdowns off the couch. I mean, it's what it is. Now, is he the top in the league? He's the best in the league? No, you got some guys who you could argue that are better than him. They're above him, but that doesn't matter. I told you, when it comes to money, when it comes to contracts, when it comes to paying a guy what he's quote unquote worth, how good he is does not matter. It's not about who's best. It's about who's next. That's what it's about. Dak Prescott in no way, shape, or form is in the top elite quarterbacks. He's right outside that group. He's not even close. But his contract, this current contract he had with the Cowboys is about to expire. That contract was better than Patrick Mahomes' contract. Patrick had the huge numbers with a lot of years, but that contract was better than Patrick Mahomes. Is he better than Patrick? Absolutely not. So it's not about who's best, it's about who's next. So whether you argue about, well, really, he shouldn't have got paid, that he was overpaid, it doesn't matter, man. They say we overpaid Christian Kirk. He's been worth every penny, haven't he? And then once the other receiver contracts came in, oh, look, he's not a top paid receiver. He's not a top 10 paid receiver. He goes back down because the price is going to constantly go up. Ridley's contract is going to be, it's going to continue to go down because receivers are going to get paid, guys. I mean, it is what it is. T. Higgins and Brandon Ayuk is about to shatter whatever Ridley got. They're about to shatter it. I'm just saying, this is what it is. So the whole argument about Ridley and what he should have got, and it doesn't matter, man. They should have tagged Ridley and paid Josh Allen. That was my only gripe. Outside of that, I like what they did in free agency. I like the moves they made so far. I like how they talked about the draft. I like what Balky said about the analytics. You know, basically say, hey, don't trade up. It's not worth it. I'm with him on that. Don't trade up. It's not worth it. Wide receiver at 17, I'm good with it. Corner at 17, I'm good with it. Hey, Brian Thomas Jr., run that card up there. Brian Thomas Jr. there at 17, I'm running that card up there. Malik Neighbors, Roman Dunze, Marvin Harrison, those guys are going to be gone. But Brian Thomas Jr., that's the guy. That's the guy right there if he's there at 17. But let me see what Marcus say. Marcus, they're going to say the same thing about you say Trouble Lawrence. When he gets his deal, all the Jaguars overpay him. What a stupid franchise. People make no sense, I swear. Yeah, be prepared for that. That's coming too. They overpaid Trevor. You know, that's coming too. When mind you, the guy like what's that? Justin Herbert. Some people would agree. Justin Herbert is in another stratosphere as far as Trevor Lawrence is concerned. But you know, he never won nothing. He hasn't won a thing.
Yeah.
When he had a chance to win stuff, now I will say his coaching has not helped. I will give him that, but let's be real. He hasn't won anything. And what did he get? He got $230 million. It wasn't worth it, but it is what it is. You can't argue with it. It is what it is. That's what's gonna happen. Jalen Hurts, the contract they gave Jalen Hurts. I understood it, I got it, but I was like, they overpaying for Jalen Hurts, man. It's what it is. That's what you're gonna have to do.
Yeah, that's the way of the lay. If you're gonna have a franchise quarterback, you gotta pay. So that's what it is. So you do what the Bears and go back and try again, but it's pretty clear. The trick is money, and I think it's on. I think it's smart. Whether you continue to negotiate in June, get a deal season, it's still gonna come just like Josh Allen. You have to pay.
Yeah,
you're not gonna allow that talent to walk away, so you gotta pay him. It ain't nothing. Let me state this also: Trevor could have a worse season than he had last year, and they still gonna pay him. They committed. We don't want that to happen, but they're not going to start. You can't at this point of the game. You can't go back in and restart the engine.
No,
go back
you gotta
to
ride it out.
And you got to ride it, man. You got to ride this. You got to ride the horse to the finish line at this point. I mean, it's too much invested, and you got to pay them. You know, we don't wish no. I don't like talking injuries or anything. But say if he was to get hurt and have a season-ending injury in the 4th week of the season, they still gonna sign him.
Yes,
and they're gonna sign him at maximum money. But that's hey, Kansas City did it. Dallas did it.
Yeah.
I
Eagles did
mean,
it. Chargers
Eagles
did it.
did it. Yeah, you got to pay for talent, and at that position,
Miami better do it.
Well, I've
Miami
heard that
better do it, man.
I've heard through the grapevine that matter of time. They're not looking at no other quarterbacks, and
the fact that they have to say that though is concerning. It is. If I'm Tua's guest, I mean, I know Tua and his camp are like, man, what more do I need to do?
Well, he could win a few more playoff games, but I think they sold him Tua though. I think you know.
I mean, Kirk Cousins has won nothing, y'all. Nothing. And I know Tua's sitting there like, dude, can I get my paper? Can I get my bread? Come on, man. Can I get a commitment? Just commitment. Can I get a commitment? Because Tua hit the open market, man. You know he's getting paid. Like, let's not act like people are going to not sign Tua if he hits the open market. He's getting top of the market.
But you know that. And just like the Jaguars know it, if Trevor was to hit the open market, you can criticize him, say all. I mean, we can eat all the words that negative we done said about Trevor. He's still gonna receive the money. He's still gonna get a max deal. And it's the same thing about Josh. I heard talk in this town. Oh yeah, but you know, he might need to have another year to prove himself. Or you know, what happened in the years before this past season? And if he would have entered free agency, those teams don't care about that.
No. Nope.
He would have got a deal contract. So that's what I'm saying, man. Stop with all this. Analyze. We gotta evaluate. We don't do any contract negotiations during the season. I mean, you cannot put all 53 players on this roster and treat them all the same. There's certain criteria that's got to be met, and one of them is quarterback, and one who's a franchise record with sacks. You don't wait till the end of the season. You start. You're not talking to Josh or Trevor. You're talking to their representatives, their agents.
Yes.
And we need to change that philosophy, because if you're going to get paid, you're going to get paid. It doesn't matter when the clock, go get paid. And that's the only complaint I got. If you're going to pay this guy $156 over 4 years, I mean, you're not going to tell me you just reached that conclusion in March. Okay? That decision didn't come in March. That decision was made that what do we have to do to keep you in Jacksonville? That's what it is. What is your market value? There's nothing to say that. And another thing is, if he enters the open market, we're unwilling to pay him, but somebody else is going to pay him, then, I mean, come on. There's no more negotiating. He's got the upper hand on you.
Yes. Yes.
And that's the same with Trevor. If you don't want to enter the draft again, hope you get a first round, be a number one. If you got a number one overall pick on Trevor, then you must commit to Trevor.
You must commit to Trevor.
Yeah, you don't want to be the Bears. I mean, still undecided. I mean, I think Trevor done enough to show that he's deserving of a max deal. I mean, I think he's done enough in that light. But I don't know, man. Just pay the man, and let's don't go through the next 14 months. You know, let to the public and unwilling to do this or that, and then when it's time, you got to do it because you don't want Tennessee to sign. Well, just imagine if Trevor was in a free agency. just use our hindsight. Oh, okay. Well, we don't we don't agree with the amount that he's asking, and we're going to allow him to explore the market in free agency, and he ends up signing with Tennessee. Do you know how bad that would be for this franchise? There's no in heck, there's no way in the world this franchise will ever allow to the point that he would not only be a free agent, but he's signed with your rival. That's not going to happen.
Yes. Hey,
like him, hate
it's not
him,
a possible.
love
him. Hey, it's not crazy. That's not crazy because this didn't Houston sign Everson Griffin?
Yeah.
No. My bad. Yeah. Was it? Hold on. Is it Everson Griffin? Hold on. I got the wrong one. Hold on. But the defensive end from Minnesota. Yeah, Houston signed him. What is his name? I said Everson Griffin. That's another Minnesota defensive end.
The one that the Jags should have signed.
The ones that the Jags should have traded for that I thought they they was linked to for a very long time. Oh man, hold on. Let me see. Hold on, it'll come up. Where we at? Danielle Hunter. There we go. Say Everson Griffin. Golly, that's USC days right there. Danielle Hunter. So they signed him. It's entirely possible that if Josh hits the open market, he's a Houston Texan right now.
Oh yeah. And you don't want to get to a point like that. I mean, how are you going to answer that you serious about? You don't answer the bell to extend your best defensive guy. Man, be honest. When you set a franchise like 17 and a half sacks in the season, that's not a fluke.
No, it's not a fluke.
You get it. There's been guys signed big contracts and done big contracts. So when you do things like that, then it's always going to be an answer, commitment to winning. And they can't have those questions. Not trying to get a stadium deal and all that stuff going with this franchise. They didn't want to have to answer those questions. And just like I said, hey, I feel Trevor got to get better. And I don't agree with people who don't think that he'd be criticized. But you will never hear me say that this kid that he don't deserve a max deal or once just wait and let him go in the open market. Hear me say that'll be suicide for the Jaguars. So
yes,
you drafted him number one, and there's force is not enough judgment on a franchise quarterback either. You pay him, you got to pay him, and hopefully, which I know they will. They're going to pay him. But my big question is paying them. It's about doing what you needed to do, contract or elevate forward. And what did you do in the window when he was on a rookie scale contract? What did you do to improve the talent deal? You go in there and spend millions of dollars in free agent cap hit. So my question of the franchise, did you do enough when he was on a rookie scale contract with my pieces around him offensively? And I think they have at this.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see what Marcus had to say. He said, if Tua hits the open market, look for him to end up in Dallas. Shoot, Dallas might even trade Dak for Tua. Don't be surprised. Also, the Cowboys is the team Tua family grew up rooting for. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry and them decided to move on from Dak after this season. But I mean, who are you going to get? Who you going to go back to the well and try to draft a quarterback? Is that what you're doing? Okay. Well, go ahead, go that route. Because now you know what Dak is. You know that he's proven, at least for being a quality starting quarterback who can get you to the postseason. He can get you in the dance. Now, when he's gotten to the dance, He ain't been able to dance. 2 left feet. It's what it is. That's the
Yeah.
rap on it. That's been the issue. But at least you know that he can get you to the dance. With a young, who's the quarterbacks next year? I mean, you got to put Jalen Milroe and a couple of these other young guys. I mean, who knows? You don't know. So for them to have to go through this again, when all you got, hey, just you should have paid these guys when you had the opportunity to do so, when the price was not as high. Because now with Dak, you can't go backwards. Can't go backwards.
Yeah.
Because the deal they gave him was excellent. It was a great deal. Now, you can't go backwards. It's more. It's more. If Kirk Cousins getting $180 million at damn near 50 years old, coming, and he has no Achilles tendon no more. His Achilles is done, and he getting $180 million. No, you got to come up off it, dog. It's just what it is. It's what it is, man. So I don't know. We'll see, but I think Jacksonville is going to pay Trevor Lawrence. I don't think there's going to be any issue with that. But like you said, if I'm Trevor Lawrence, he has the leverage right now. Just like Josh Allen had the leverage, Trevor has all the leverage right now. He does, because he can refuse a contract. He can refuse a contract for the next 3 years. Refuse, nope, not signing.
Yeah.
They 50 option. Nope, not signing. Franchise tag. Nope, not signing. Franchise tag. Nope, not signing. They're not going to franchise him a third time because the salary goes up 40%. Nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever going to do it. I mean, you put your team in cap hell if you do that. So that's not happening. So in 3 years, he's going to be able to say, I'm 28 years old on the open market, and let's say he's steadily improved over these next couple of years. He's taken the Jaguars to a couple of playoff games. He's won a few playoff games. You know what him at 28 years old on the front end of his prime years, what he's going to garner in 3 years? Man, I cringe to think about what that is.
That's why this go on the open market, because that's suicide for the franchise, in my opinion. I mean, you don't draft the number 4 years ago, and then 4 years later, we've had in case we forgot him at that position. But you know what? I also say is, Brandon, this team, I mean, I know the season's still months. I mean, we got a long way to go. They start playing real football. But when you really think about it, this season is critical, man. They got to get back to the playoffs. I mean, I think they might be in one of the toughest divisions, I mean, in the NFL. And Houston is no joke. And I actually would say this. I think when it comes to rosters, I think Houston got a better roster than was at this point. And I don't think you can sleep on Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I think this team, I think this franchise got to make the right moves. Like I said, they made the right moves. They went out and necessary needs to be filled, and they got and get some draft picks that's going to, fill some holes and being able to play them. You can't take chances on when you got first round, second round, third round, maybe fourth round. You got to hit on those players, and we know that that franchise hadn't had a history of doing that, but you got to hit on draft picks, man.
You have to.
I don't tackle. I don't care if they draft a quarterback, draft a wide receiver, but whoever they draft at 17th overall, they got to I'm not saying they got to be impactful enough to be a difference maker. Yeah.
Oh man, we lost him. Okay, well, hopefully he comes back up. I know he have some issues with the internet over there, so hopefully he comes back up. But he's correct about what he's saying about the impact. And you drafting. Jacksonville has been horrible at drafting. In 30 years of drafting wide receivers, the Jaguars have only had 2 receivers to gain 1,000 yards in the season that they drafted. Two. Can you take a guess who those 2 are? You take a guess. We're gonna take a wild guess on who those. Okay, here he comes. He's back up. Hopefully he comes back through. You take a wild guess on who those 2 are. All right, I'm going to give it to you. DJ Chark and Allen Robinson. That's it. Go look it up. That's it. And only one wide receiver that's been drafted has gotten a second contract with the Jaguars. I know you're not going to get this one. Unless you've been hearing about that conversation, you heard somebody say it, because I wouldn't have got it. I wouldn't even guessed it myself. But I heard somebody say it, and I know what it is. Just take a wild guess, man. Take a wild guess. Give up. Marquise Lee, the albino tiger himself. He was the only one. That's insane. So drafting, I'm sorry if we don't trust them when it comes to drafting. I'm sorry. And they've let too much homegrown talent walk out the door. Too much, yep. Man. People, hey, say what you want about Jalen Ramsey, and I know I'm a Ramsey homer. It is what it is. Get over it. Say what you want about Ramsey and how he conducted himself, what went down, whatever. And I'm sure him being more mature now, he would have handled the situation differently than he did. But let's not act like Jaguars was this great functioning franchise, the consummate pro and winner of the league, a flagship, blue chip franchise. This wasn't the Steelers. This wasn't the Patriots, which Robert Kraft said some very questionable things. We gonna get into that. But this wasn't a blue chip franchise. This is a franchise known for dysfunction at best. So I'm going to side with the players on this. I'm going to side with Yannick Ngakoue. Now, I will say I don't condone their behavior per se, and they could have been better about how they went about their business. But let's not act like the Jaguars are not at fault for not retaining the talent that they drafted. When you draft a Jalen Ramsey, you want to retain that guy. That's the whole reason you put the draft pick in, so you can retain him to stay in your city. That's the whole reason. That's the whole reason you draft Josh Allen, so you could pay him. That's the whole reason you draft Trevor Lawrence. You want him to turn into a guy that you want to pay. That's what you do. But Jacksonville has not been that, man. So it is what it is.
But personally, that's my opinion. Looking at their history, I would not draft a corner with that. Just me. You look back a couple of years, and they've done that. Well, they did it in 21. Look how that turned out.
Oh man, it was bad from the beginning.
But somebody didn't do their homework.
Obviously,
that
boy looked distraught when they drafted him.
Exactly. And did you see they made an announcement? He didn't even look like he wanted to be. He thinks like that. And who was here? Who made that pick? That was Balky made that pick. So
right.
It wasn't called. It was Trent. And I don't know. I might a minority on the. I think they've done enough offensively, in my opinion. I think they've done great to bring in Christian Kirk and people like that from free agents to add those type of weapons on offense. But if you really look back, what offensive weapon have they added to Trevor through the draft? Your long-term, free agents is nice, but the long-term future of your franchise is how well you drafted. And when you went back and in 30 years, 3 days, when I covered, that some type of him at that position. And like you said, Allen Robinson hurt in the first season, 217, but he didn't get a second contract. And seriousness of the injury, they just forced their hand and re-signed. But it's just too much bad. I mean, we live in an age. In this league is different than what it was in 217. I mean, you got to have playmakers. I've been saying that for the last 3 or 4 years. You got to go out if you got opportunity to bring in. I think you use. Who's going to say you pick and you got a guy that every time the ball get thrown in the air, he can make a play? I mean, that's what you got to do in this league now. You got to have a guy who can beat the defense over the top. I don't give. He can be 6'4". He could be 5'8". He can win the 50-50 balls, and he can play. Ain't no in position. If he can be a maker, we need playmakers on the team. I know. I mean, you got to get a quarterback because the other team in the league great wide receiver. So, I mean, yeah, I almost want to say they had great wide receivers because Houston went out and got Diggs and so that up the ante, the 17th overall pick. You got to fight fire with fire. I was somebody that was just Christian Kirk on the other, and I don't want somebody just playing receiver, and they may not be here after this season. So, man, give me somebody that I know gonna be here and plays for the next 4 years. That's what we want. We want guys that know gonna be linked Trevor over the course of the next 3 seasons. And what do the franchise need to do for Trevor? Well, Trevor ain't gonna just look at what he got right now. I mean, when you make a decision that he's signed a max deal for 4 or 5 years, where he's looking down the line, is Christian Kirk gonna be here 5 at that same level he playing at now? That's when it comes to play. What are we drafting? I mean, that's what he's looking at, to be honest. I mean, that's what anybody would look at. What I'm gonna have here over the next 3-4 years. And you can't say if a guy won't be a free agent that he's automatically gonna re-sign you. That's not always gonna happen. Ian is a great running back, but how is he gonna be 3 years from now? Who are you gonna look to replace him? Who do you have that's comparable talent to him? All right, we got that we know we're gonna have when I'm in year 3 of my extension. And he can't answer those questions.
Definitely
I like the
defense
right now. For the Lord of me, I just think we draft too much defensive minded. And then look, we fired a whole coaching staff because of all our picks and the Dan Lords and all the people we put in that investment didn't turn out or whatever happened. And we basically been led on offense by the free agents that we acquired. I mean, I just think they got to go out and get some playmakers, not go out and use the whole draft to put people around Trevor. And why not get the overall pick and be offensive player, where he's a tackle, tight end, I mean, whatever, playmaker. Somebody who can beat the defense. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. we'll see how this shakes out. I think that they're going to stand pat at 17. And I think wide receiver is high on the list. I think wide receiver is up there and corner is up there. And I've seen some stuff about defensive end, pass rusher, and offensive tackle, and even some D tackle. But defensive tackle, no, unless only way I'm taking a defensive tackle at 17 is it Aaron Donald. That's the only way. Aaron Donald. And offensive tackle, yeah, I think you definitely use another lineman. You always use linemen. You can never have enough big guys on both sides of the line. You can never have enough of them. But tackle, I mean, you get one later in the draft. Wide receiver and corner are the two, man. Those are the two. And I think there's a lot of wide receivers. I think this is a great wide receiver draft. I think going forward, the last couple of years, it's been a a great draft for wide receivers. Guys coming out, but corner, the same thing. The corner pool is deep too. But I think once you get outside of Odunze Harrison, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, then I think there's a little bit of a drop off. Now that doesn't mean you're not going to be able to find talented guys, but then it's a little bit of drop off after those three, because Marvin Harrison Jr. being a consensus number one. Hey man, Malik Neighbors is definitely making his name heard. Same with Rome Odunze. But Brian Thomas Jr. at 17 would be just, oh man, it'd be perfect. And then they say it's like 8 tackles can go in the first round. They have that many tackles that can go in the first round. And what you want as a Jaguar fan, you want them to go. You want quarterbacks to go early. You want the first 6 picks to be quarterbacks, because that's gonna push your options. That's gonna push guys down to 17. So come on, go, hey JJ, hey, go ahead and get JJ McCarthy. Go ahead, let somebody go ahead and bite that bullet and take JJ McCarthy and get on that JJ McCarthy hype train. Go on, take Bo Nix, which I think is crazy. How did JJ McCarthy and Bo Nix get so much hype, man? I'm not understanding. JJ McCarthy drove a Lamborghini. That's what he was doing. He was a driver of a Lamborghini in college, man. Dude, they say he didn't even play in some of the third and fourth quarters of Big Ten games. Like, come on, man. That's how good the team was, man. That's how good the team was. And then Bo Nix is like 37 years old. I mean, he's been in college, seems like a decade, man. They say he has the most starts in college football history for a quarterback. Yeah, when you're there for 7 years, of course you can have the most starts of a quarterback. And then Oregon was a loaded team. So how are they drinking the Bo Nix Kool-Aid, man? I don't know. I know. But my dude Michael Penix Jr. can't get no love. Michael Penix Jr. can't get no love. That's insane. He throws the best ball in the draft. Man, that bugs me, Mr. Reed. That really does. That bugs me.
It does. He had a great season. But they were in college football. But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how come we just decided to play Trey Herndon. Somebody tell me that question. And no harm, because out of the secondary, you can scheme him more than any other player had there for the last 3 years. And for the life of me, I guess it took the defensive coordinator to figure out that, man, we got to get a slot on.
Right.
We can't play man-to-man with Trey. We got to play zone, man-to-man. I'm hurt. I mean, that's what's wrong. I think that's the thing about NFL football, man. It ain't for the lighthearted.
Yeah.
And you cannot coach and have they should have been looking for a corner that can really play. My understanding was when we first brought Darius in, well, he was going to be, I don't know what happened, but now we're in a predicament again. We need a cornerback.
Yeah.
I mean, those evaluate
They
that
should have re-signed
certain
Darius
positions
Williams.
should have. We don't want to keep taking scab off, and we're still talking about the scab for the last 3 years. I mean, we've been talking about cornerback since 21. Well, actually, since Jalen. Now, tell me, I'll say the truth. I'm a truth sayer. How in the world do we still address a problem back, and we still haven't solved that problem since we lost the best in the league? And then Tyson Campbell is actually a free agent. Those are the things I'm talking about, man. You can't just keep picking the scab. This is what we need, but don't address why.
Yeah,
That problem should have been solved 3 years ago. We drafted the wrong cornerback from Florida, and you play whatever. I don't know why they drafted him, but they drafted him. We're talking about if you put the consensus out, I think most people feel they're going to draft a cornerback with that selection. And I'm just myself, well, what round did we draft Tyson Campbell in 21? I mean, didn't we draft? Let me make sure my facts are right. Didn't we draft Tyson Campbell and the kid from Florida in the same draft at cornerback 4 years ago, or whatever it was, the 21 draft?
The 21 draft, 21 draft, yeah, you did. You took Campbell at pick 33.
33,
round 2.
And then we picked the kid at Florida with
CJ,
whatever it was. Yeah, Henderson. I mean, those are the things. In order to be,
Henderson went 2020.
Okay, 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back-to-back years, you took a corner high because 33. That's he right outside the first round.
Yeah. So. And we still saw that problem. Yeah, is that correct?
Still haven't solved the problem.
We also, let me make that back. 21 got we used a free agent pick to land the core. I can add. We got Kim Seattle from Florida. Yeah, he was one of their top free agent signees in my first free agency class. And then we went back and drafted in that same year. We kept they earned it. So we gotta solve this, man. We can't just pick this boom and continue to draft this position, still can't find the answers. And it goes down. Okay, well, Houston got Stephon Diggs and around that really. It was big. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Just saying. So, we'll see. We'll see with these Jaguars and what's coming up, man. But we gotta. He's gone again. I knew it was gonna happen again. His internet is he having some issues over there. I knew it was gonna happen again. Man, we're gonna wrap up on the Jaguars. We're gonna move forward in the NFL draft. We're gonna talk about Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots owner. And man, listen here. So there was a supposed report that Robert Kraft, I guess, warned the Atlanta Falcons about, signing Bill Belichick. So I'm gonna get this right. Yeah, man. I've never seen the media agree with Bill Belichick. Like at this, I mean, it's been a consensus almost. You got the pockets where, well, yeah, I mean, he's right about Bill Belichick, but man, I've never seen such a almost unanimous agreeing with Bill Belichick and siding with Bill Belichick when Robert Kraft basically called supposedly, this is allegedly, called the Falcons to warn them and saying that if you hire him, there won't be a happy ending. And of course, Robert Kraft is denying it. His camp is denying it, which I understand. Rightfully so. You shouldn't want your name attached to something like that. So I'm just gonna read a little bit of this. It said in a Wednesday report from ESPN, sources told the outlet that Kraft reached out to the Falcons owner Arthur Blank. At that time, the Falcons were interviewing Belichick for head coach. During this call, Kraft allegedly told Blank not to trust Belichick and that he wasn't a good fit for their organization. That call, sources claim, played a significant role in the Falcons' decision to go in another direction and hire former Los Angeles Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. See, dude, listen here, man. If Robert Kraft did do this, don't know if he did it. Don't know. It's alleged or whatever. This is a bad look. This is a bad look. This is sour grapes. This is that jealous ex that can't let go because there's nothing. Only way you even talk to them about Bill Belichick is if Arthur Blank calls you. Supposedly he volunteered to call Arthur Blank to warn him from hiring Bill Belichick, supposedly saying that there won't be a happy ending if you hire him. Now, that does, it sounds a little far-fetched, but I'm not going to put it above Robert Kraft. And I saw, there's so many tweets, they was killing him. They was like, well, I guess Bill Belichick rubbed Robert Kraft the wrong way. The little jab for his little massage parlor incident or whatever. I just thought that was funny. But this is a bad look. Owner should he should never say things like this. Never. No. Only in private conversation, maybe when you meet him and he really wants to know the deal or whatever. But to volunteer to call and say, hey, no, man, and you don't get in the way of somebody else's money. Because Bill Belichick supposedly in his representation thought he had the job wrapped up. He thought he was going to be the Falcons' next head coach. And all of a sudden, they were hiring Raheem Morris and they're not hiring him. Now, who knows? Maybe they say that the Falcons voted on the top coaches and the candidates they wanted. And I think Belichick didn't make the top 3 or top 5 or something like that. And Raheem Morris ended up being the guy. But for this report to be out here, and I always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Why in the world would you do this as an owner? This is a bad look. It is. It's a bad look. This right here, this is sending a signal across the league. What this tells me is that, so Gerard Mayo is their new head coach. So once it don't work out with us and you got an issue with me, you going to call the next team to tell them not to hire me? Why would I want to coach for that guy? Now, he's always going to be able to find a guy to coach because he's paying, But this still, this is not a good look for an owner, man. It's not. And who knows? Who knows what was really going on in New England? Because everybody's painting Bill as the problem. Bill is the problem. He's the problem. He has too much say-so. It was Brady. It wasn't him. And he's not a great coach. Don't say nothing. Hey, I know Asante Samuel is living it up right now. I know he's just chuckling it up because he's always had something negative to say about Bill since he left and saying that he's not a great coach. Hey, that's his opinion. He played for the man. But Patriots fans remind him all the time that he dropped their undefeated season. It was right in his hands, which is true. But with that being said, dude, why? It shouldn't matter to Robert Kraft where this man goes. It shouldn't. But because you want to run your mouth, you want to pop off at the mouth, you want to say stuff, you want to do this, it's a bad look on you. It is. Owners should not get into stuff like this. No, just, hey, give that cookie cutter statement that you always give. Hey, like when a player get in trouble, what they say, we are aware of the situation and we currently gathering more information. Put out something like that. Give them some coach speak or something. But this is not what you do. This is not what you do. Because Belichick, who knows? He could have been covering up the whatever dysfunction that the Patriots are currently about to go through. Because we don't know. We could say Bill was the problem, but what if Bill was the glue holding the ship together? We don't know. We about to find out, aren't we? So I mean, it is what it is. And I see Mr. Reed come back on, but he's gone now. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back on, but we're going to keep it trucking. We're going to keep it moving. And then I'm going to get on up out of here, man. Let's see what we got left. NBA playoffs, yes, currently. I'm watching. Oh, yes, Lakers and Denver has tipped off. Can't wait to finish watching that right there. I don't know, man. I'm a LeBron guy just like anybody else, but to think that they're going to beat the Denver Nuggets, if they do, I'm going to be highly shocked. Do I hope they beat them? Yes. Cool. Get back from last year. But dude, no, not at all. I'm not a fan of that right there. I'm not putting my money on that. I'm not betting on that. And man, the Suns got blitzed today. Anthony Edwards is a man child. Like I don't know, man. Oh yeah, he got internet issues, man. He can't get back on. So yeah, we gonna keep it trucking. We gonna keep it moving. Let's see what I got. Oh yes. Oh man. Oh Jontay Porter. Oh man, he got banned by the NBA, and I don't know, man. I'm conflicted. Now, yes, Jontay Porter was gambling. He was gambling, and he was he was betting on himself. This is hilarious, man. It was like they noticed all this money being pushed to his over under. Like he was betting on himself. He was betting under, and he was betting over on himself, man. Getting money off himself, which is it's yeah, it is what it is. But it's dumb. But it is what it is. That's about like Calvin Ridley, him gambling and using his personal email address. You didn't think that was going to get tracked back to you? But when all of this started, when we first heard about when Calvin Ridley got in trouble, was really the start of guys getting in trouble for gambling. When I saw that, I was like, this is a problem that's not going away anytime soon. They're going to have more issues. It's going to go down to the college level as well. And sure enough, that's what's going on. College players getting in trouble for it. I forgot, it was a quarterback from somewhere. I can't remember. He was betting on his own games, man. So it's going to be an issue, and it's going to continue to be an issue. Only thing they can do is educate the guys and warn them against it. But this is going to continue being an issue, which is why I'm like with Jontay Porter, I understand the message that the NBA wants to send. You want to send a message, say, hey, guys, we do not want you to do this. Don't do this. We can't have this. This messes with the integrity of the game. If we know you guys are betting on yourselves, you're betting on your teams, you're betting on the outcomes of these games. Hey, I'm paying my hard-earned money. I'm giving this ticket. I'm going, especially if I'm sitting close to the court. I'm sitting on the sideline and I'm paying all this money. How can I trust that you guys are not? This is not scripted. This is not something that you guys are planning. Like we're gonna take a flop because I got $1 million on my under for me to be under 25 points. How do I know that that's not going on? Well, I'm telling you this right now. It's going on. It's happening. Guys are gambling right now. A lot of guys haven't been caught yet. But guys are gambling right now at this moment on themselves, on their team, on other players, on other teams. It's happening. And more guys are going to get caught because, it's a stereotype about jocks being dumb, but all stereotypes are rooted in truth because the way they're getting caught, man, is dumb. Like Jontay Porter. I mean, you were betting like $10,000 on your under. You didn't think because I didn't even know who Jontay Porter was. So why in the world would somebody bet 10 grand on him scoring going under on his under? Why? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. But now they banned the young man. I would say they should have made maybe like a couple years or so, but a lifetime ban, that's tough. I mean, he might as well, hey, you better play and go to China. Go play in China, play in Taiwan, play in Japan, play wherever. But the NBA is like they're sending a staunch message. NFL is going to do the same thing. They haven't done this. Now this sets a precedent. So I would not be surprised if you see more guys getting a lifetime ban, man, because this messes with the integrity of the game. And man, all the conspiracy theorists, oh, it's rigged, oh, it's a script. They write in this, they already know the outcome. I can't argue with those people now, man. I can't because you got guys betting on themselves. It's what it is, man. It's what it is. But we are going to move forward. Let's see what else. What I got left. What I got left. What I got left. Caitlin Clark. Yes. Yes. Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark has been getting a lot of hate. A lot of hate. I mean, just unnecessary hate too, because people are upset that she's gotten more shine than South Carolina with the black female head coach, the predominantly black team. They were undefeated, 2 years in a row in the regular season. They capped it off with a championship this year. It's their second in 3 years, and they should be getting all these accolades. And they do, and they are. But Caitlin Clark has getting more shine. That's normal, people. That's normal. That's always been the case. I don't remember a time in sports where when a loser got talked about more than the winner. It's always happened. Have you ever watched the Cowboys game? Cowboys will lose, and they will talk about the Cowboys for 17 hours straight on ESPN. And they lost. The Jaguars beat the Cowboys in overtime 2 years ago. You know who they talked about all day, all night? They talked about the Cowboys. That's what goes on. It's about who's most popular. It's about who's the draw. It's about who the big ticket is. That's what it's about. So why are you getting upset about this? And they go, of course, they go back to the whole black-white thing, which is so stupid to me. It's just racist. It's just a distraction, dude. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's like, oh, well, she's getting this because it's like Eminem. She's getting this because she's white. No, she's getting it because she's great. Now, if is she getting more than to say if she was black, whatever? Yeah, you may make an argument for that. You may be able to make a case for that, but she's not. She's white. So what? This is her time, and she is going to continue to be her time as long as she produces. If the ball goes into the basket in the WNBA for her, and she's a superstar, is going to continue. There's nothing going to be able to do about it. Dale, what's going on? Hey, Dale, when you get a chance, you got a video, call me. Got a video, call me. When I get off, you got a video, call me, Dale. What's going on? Hey, Mr. Reed has some issues with his internet, so he is MIA. He had to sign off, so I'm finishing up right now. But what's going on, man? But come on, man, with the Caitlin Clark hate. And now to the other people who are so outraged at what the WNBA players make when they rolled out the contracts and say they're only making $70,000 a year. Oh my God, that's terrible. These no-name NBA rookies, they're getting $12 million, $10 million. Dude, why are you so? Please. For those who have an issue with that, go support the game. Go support the WNBA. WNBA League Pass is $37 for an entire year. Go support them. Buy tickets. Buy jerseys. Go to their games. Hey, get you a podcast. Talk about them. Cover the team. Write articles about them. Get them some pub. But you're not going to do that. You know why? Because you have no interest in them. You have no interest in actually watching them. Women in general have no interest in sports for the most part. Now, you got some women who are, but most, they care less about sports. It's what it is. Because women spend the money. Women spend money. Women make the dollar go around. That's what it's about. And what they're interested in, those industries are flourishing right now. The makeup industry, $1 billion industry. Hair industry, $1 billion industry. And their entertainment, any entertainment for them, the housewives, the reality shows, Lifetime, billions and billions of dollars. It's what it is. WNBA, they only made $200 million last year. Well, women are not interested. It's what it is. And then let's not to say we have to talk about it. The WNBA is a poorly run league. Those at the top are horrible at their jobs and what they do. They hardly market their stars. Hardly market their stars. I mean, you can't. I can't name 10 stars right now off the top of my head. I have to look at the paper and be like, oh yeah, I know her. I've seen her name. I can't name them off the top of my head because I haven't seen them. They don't market them enough. This is what it is. And then a smaller percentage goes to the players themselves and how they react when people give them constructive criticism about the league and try to help them, because NBA players have tried to help them and they basically turned their nose up at them, talk crap about them. Like one of the suggestions was lower the rim. The rim is at 10 feet like the men. Drop it down to 9 so more of y'all could dunk. If more women dunked on other women, trust me, the viewership will go up. Man, could you imagine? Could you imagine Angel Reese dunking on Caitlin Clark in the WNBA finals? I would pay to see that. I would pay to see that. Was that he said my Knicks take game 1? Oh yeah, the Knicks they got game 1. Okay. Yeah, I was watching that Phoenix Suns beat down, Dale. Whew. They in trouble. They're in trouble. They're a finesse team. They came up against a buzzsaw. That's what it is. But yeah, lower the rim, make the court smaller. A market. Hey, you want to talk about? They say sex sales, sex appeal. Hey, do it. Whatever you got to do to grow the game and to bring more money. But they just no. Why we can't? We know that's massages. That's sex. That's all this. Okay. And it's not like Joe Blow off the street. Brandon Lampley didn't suggest these things. If he did, I understand the pushback. Who is he? Cool. If your male counterpart in the NBA suggested, why are you getting upset? They watch your game. They support your game. When I remember 2020, when we had the pandemic, they were shutting everything down, locking everything down. There were a lot of athletes who decided not to play. Kyrie Irving and a couple players got together and put a fund together to pay the women who decided they did not want to play. They put millions of dollars into this pot so they could still get their money because they care. But what have they gotten in return? I'm just saying. They've shown that they have not been very likable. But besides that, that's a small part of it. The bigger issue is the up top, because Caitlin Clark is a gem. Angel Reese is a gem. If you do not do this right, you're going to fumble this bag. Because, hey, you see what Big Three with Ice Cube. Ice Cube offered Caitlin Clark $5 million to come play in his league. $5 million. She's going to make $76,000 her rookie year in the WNBA. They're very lucky to get her. Very lucky. She had options. And she's going to make more off endorsements than she's ever going to make in the WNBA. Ever. He said, I have a scenario for you when I call you. Oh, definitely, Dale, definitely. But, it is what it is when it comes to stuff like that. So, but I'm going to leave it right there because I went on a tangent. But y'all know me, I always monologue and go on a tangent. I just ain't have Mr. Reed here right now to stop me to chime in. Because he was ready to go off about this too. But, it is what it is. But man, I'm going to wrap it up right here. And last thoughts, especially on the Jags. I'm glad they paid Josh Allen. I'm glad they're in early contract talks with Trevor Lawrence because the price is only going to go up for Trevor Lawrence. I don't care. I don't care if he have a worse season next year and he don't improve next year. The price still goes up because you're going to have to ride this out. You're going to have to sign him. You have to sign him to a long-term deal and ride this deal out. You have to. You have no choice because if he hits the open market, even if he have a subpar season next year, he is going to get paid. It's the cost of doing business, man. So, hey, get it together. And then, hey, at 17, man, I am infatuated with Brian Thomas Jr., man. I am. I would love to get Brian Thomas Jr. I'm curious to see how the draft is going to shake out. And if some of these quarterbacks are going to go as high as they say they're going to go. I think it's been a lot of smoke screens and pump faking when it comes to that because outside of Caleb Williams going 1, Drake May, I think Drake May is going to go top 10. Jaden Daniels most likely is going to go top 10 too. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 2 instead of Drake May. But the J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix, I think that's a smoke screen. Ain't no way. Okay, please go ahead and sip that Kool-Aid if you want to. I'm not hating. I'm just saying the JJ McCarthy, I don't know about that. And Bo Nix is like 37 years old, man. He's been in college for so long. They say he done pledged in the fraternity 3 separate times. He's been in college so long. I mean, it is what it is. He said, better be careful paying TL right now. Hey, Dale, the price is going to go up, though. If you don't pay him right now, dude, if you pay him right now versus tomorrow, dude, it's all right, Dale. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't pay him right now. And let's see what happens. I'm telling you, Dale, the price is going to continue to go up. You say, I know it isn't our biggest need, but you should go watch Jared Verse tape. I'm with you, Dale. Remember, we talked about that. We talked about the Jared Verse tape. Dude, Jared Verse is 17. It's tempting. Dallas Turner at 17. It's tempting. What's it? Latu from UCLA. Latu should go. He should be top 10 at the very least. But if Latu is there at 17, listen here, dude. I think Latu is going to be special. I mean, he has it all, man. He's got it all. I was watching some Jared Verse today. I was watching him straight up just bull rushing tackles into the quarterback. I think it was when they played Florida, he tackled the tackle and the quarterback at the same damn time. Like, so I'm with you, Dale. I'm with you on that. So, but I mean, hopefully Jacksonville can get this right. They've had a great offseason. They have a great offseason. And it's the luncheon that they had when they did the press conference. They said that, man, those dudes, they look relaxed, they look poised, and they look ready. Balky and Peterson did. So I think this season, this is a playoff year once again, even with injuries, because injuries are no longer an excuse, man. After I seen what the Browns did, Kevin Stefanski and his staff, the job they did with the injuries they had in Cleveland, I don't want to hear about injuries being an issue anymore. Because, dude, I think that who didn't miss time on the Browns? That's what I want to know. That's the list I'm interested in. Because, dude, you had so many guys miss time, and they had so many injuries. And, dude, they played musical chairs at quarterbacks for weeks and still made the playoffs and beat the Jags. So I don't want to hear it. So I think that this is a playoff season. I think if they don't make the playoffs, once again, last year was a failure because you missed the playoffs. You missed the playoffs again this year, it's a failure. You don't win a playoff game next year, it's a failure. It's what it is. So, we're going to see. He said, I heard they big on Neighbors. Neighbors not going to be there at 17. I would be highly surprised if Neighbors is there at 17. And the consensus number one has been Marvin Harrison Jr., Dale. And I don't think it's that much of I don't think it's not a big gap between him and Neighbors. I don't think it's a huge gap between him and the Doomsday. That's just me. I think, Marvin Harrison is that guy. I think he's going to be great, but I don't think there's not a chasm between him and Neighbors. It's not. Neighbors is not. I don't think he's not as strong as Marvin Harrison Jr., but dude, he's explosive. He's more explosive than Marvin Harrison Jr. He is. They think they trade up? No. Balky mentioned it, and I agree with what Balky said. And I didn't even know the analytics say don't trade up. The analytics guys say don't trade up. The value isn't there, and it hasn't been there. Just go back and look at when teams trade up and look at what they got. The only time that I will probably take that risk in trading up is quarterback. Other than that, I don't think the value is there as far as trading up. Stay at 17, man. Stay at 17. I mean, the only way, you can possibly maybe get trade up to get that value is if you trading up into like the top 7 or something like that. But I'm not trading up into the top 7. I'm staying pat at 17 to go get whoever's there and go get the best available player. Stop trying to fill a need and we got a need, and so this guy's great, so we're going to take this. No, take the best player. Whoever the best player is on the board, take him. Take him. He say Harrison Jr. is the next Calvin Johnson. That's mighty high praise, Dale. That's mighty high praise. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. He's great. He's good. But Calvin Johnson, man, I can't wait for the draft either. And the draft has lost a lot of hype, man. Draft has lost a lot of hype because now, you only had 13 guys are going to attend the draft. Man, I remember a time when they had 20 plus. They had 17 last year. You down to 13. Hey, guys, and I think that's a trend. I think that's a trend. I think you're gonna see less and less guys go to the draft, man. It's what it is. So, man, I'm gonna leave it right there. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Y'all follow my co-host, Mr. Reed, on Twitter. He has some internet issues, so couldn't finish the show. So we'll be back strong next week, of course. And I will be back with more videos, man. And we gonna get on about this thing. But first, before we get on about this thing, hold on. I almost forgot. Where we at? No, not right there. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Right here. I'm out.